Thank you, Will. Thank you. Next to the podium is an award-winning, innovative, and dazzling multidisciplinary artist.
An incredibly giving confidant, enigmatic Gemini, and the associate professor of video production at Hampshire College.
And also, as Devin has told me, she was also her Division III chair.
Wink, wink.
Please give a warm and generous welcome to the illustrious Carol Lynch.
We are the ones we've been waiting for. Okay, those chairs are really uncomfortable. You have to get up and you have to stretch and you have to breathe before I start. I'm serious. I'm so serious. Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. Cool. Yeah? Okay. Thank you. You can relax now. Yeah. Yeah, so if we take that breath together, I know that I will at least take one. So this toast is a bit of a mixtape, a mashup. It's crowdsourced. It's inspired by Gwendolyn Brooks's 1968 sermon on the warped land from In the Mecca. It's also inspired by Ella's song by Bernice Johnson Reagan. And I have to give some quick citations before I start because I don't attribute to everybody along the way. So thank you, Haku 399 concentrators, crowdsourced. The three committees, you know who you are, former advisees and Baldwin Fellows, Bernice Johnson Reagan, Ella Baker, June Jordan, various friends and colleagues, Araceli's, Margaret, Marla, Billy, Abraham, Lauren, Daniel, and Anna. And I'll preface the remarks with an email from Wayne Lynch, retired businessman, former historian, and born in Springfield, Massachusetts. So in this email, he says, so my only suggestion in the way of what they do with the rest of their lives is to never stop learning, learn to be a teacher in whatever you do, enjoy the friendship of yourself and share it daily with others. And if not yet learned, practice the joy of laughter and the reverberation of a shared smile. It is joyfully contagious, as you know. Excite them and have fun doing it. Love, Dad. And a text message from Laura Marie this morning, share your truth and vision. So thanks, Dad. Thanks, Laura Marie. Okay, here we go. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Welcome. So the first toast has been superseded by everybody before me, but I still want to thank those of you who made this all happen, our caretakers of this land, buildings and facilities and grounds, caretakers, the folks who prepared the food, media services, running it, yes. This toast is also to those who will clean up after us. And to all those who took care of this schedule, the details of it, dotting the I's, crossing the T's for our smooth landing that will ensure that our graduates leave today with diplomas in hand and evaluations. Yeah. Much gratitude and thanks. And then to those of you who came along for the ride and the risk with our fabulous graduates, Las Familias, friends, bio family, and chosen family, thank you. So now to you, class fall 09, fall 10, fall 11, maybe 12, I don't know, yeah. Great, thank you. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Okay, so you're learning this now, right? You're learning this? We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. You want to try it? Okay. So we're just going to do that line, and then I'm going to point to you sometimes within this, and you're going to sing it with me again. I'm not going to do it alone. Okay? Let's try it. Yeah. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. There are many of us here for whom everyone in our lives puts so much to us arriving here, to this place, to this time, to this moment. There are many of us here for whom, without that vigilance and clarity and activism and vision, no, we could not, should not, would not be here today. And here we be, you graduating and me with you. And where is this here? An ancient lake, Nulwatug, Algonquin woodlands, colonized by many settlers and smallpox-ridden blankets, still Pecumtuck, Nipmuc, Nawartuck. South Amherst, Hampshire, apple orchards, pastures and farms turned college, still settlers on broken land, yet rich soil. What do we make of this legacy? And where is this here? Your years of taking on your education and your voice, you who were raised in the suburbs of 9/11 and on the interweb, you who as a cohort take the streets of Tahrir Square, Zuccotti, Santiago, and in South Africa this year cast ballots as the first generation to grow up without the crushing grip of apartheid. You, taking your education full on in the footsteps of others, and at the same time, guiding. And where is this here? Our ritual we make together to reflect and recognize all that. A place where we set an ending so that you may begin again. Think of it as a collective retrospective, someplace between Division 3 and Division Free. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Thank you. Good. It's so good. I love it. It really, it's like, okay. So it's an honor to teach and learn. It has been an honor to teach and learn with you. With some of you, years ago, I'm looking for you too. With some of you years ago, we began this teaching and learning by activating a collective art practice in conversation with a collective growing practice. More than a classroom, sometimes that looked like a meeting, a meal, a workshop, a farm, yes, harvesting beets at 7 a.m. on a frosty Friday, a walk in the woods, foraging, or deep listening, a zine, and you set the agenda. And since then, look how you've grown into the current humble, thoughtful, and spectacular selves. You're video makers, scientists, activists, prison abolitionists, young farmers, and more. So the college has also grown with you as you and your peers, and I want to thank Source folks in this who have been steering us towards an ethics of economic justice, environmental quality, and social equity to meet present needs without compromising future generations, building livable and just communities within the limits of our supporting ecologies, sustainability. There are many ways to translate this into your everyday, so let's begin with speaking, learning, teaching, dreaming, visioning, laughing, and making shit happen with each other in the knowledge that we need one another. This is the urgency. Live in the noise and have the blooming of the whirlwind. until the killing of black men, black mothers' sons, is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers' sons. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We returned to the campus this fall with the Zimmerman verdict and no justice for the Martin family hanging heavy, and the death of many more under the violence of Stand Your Ground. And the president of the college emboldened us at convocation to become an actively anti-racist campus. And here now, at your commencement, how will you stand our ground? It's an honor to teach and to learn, and it's been an honor to teach and learn with you. We've been guided in our creative process by James Baldwin. He says, I know. Well, you voted for this, so you get it, right? Okay. So we've been guided in our creative process by James Baldwin, represented by our Baldwin Fellows. The artist must always know that visible reality hides a deeper one, and that all our actions and achievements rest on things unseen. A society must assume that it is stable, but the artist must know and must let us know that there is nothing stable under heaven. One cannot possibly build a school, teach a child, drive a car without taking some things for granted. The artist cannot and must not take anything for granted, but must drive to the heart of every answer and expose the question the answer hides. Societies never know it, but the war of an artist is with the society is a lover's war. And the artist does, at best, what lovers do, which is to reveal the beloved to themselves, and with that revelation, to make freedom real. So together we've wrestled with this text from Baldwin to find where we are 50 years later. To teach and to learn is an honor. A colleague provokes you to be imaginative, take risks in expressing yourself. Another, find your voice. Another still introduces us to an ethical imagining, a politic of visioning and making meaning. This is the creating dangerously that Albert Camus proposed almost 60 years ago, when he recognized that now that we know what fascism is and that its full power can engulf and make its own every image, every expression, every line, now that we know that, no longer could an artist or writer make art for art's sake. There's more at stake in making an image, writing a poem, singing a verse, and in that also joy. For about a year with some of you, we've taken on this creating dangerously, the way Edwidge Danticat, a writer born in Haiti and living in Brooklyn, details. That is, if some of us were never meant to be here because where we come from is a place well acquainted with this subsuming power, call it colonialism, call it the war on terror, call it NAFTA, call it neoliberalism, call it consumption, call it mass media, call it a drug war, call it the border, call it school to prison pipeline, call it colorblind. That some of us come from a people for whom literacy, education, and the means of representation and expression is not a given. Where reading and writing can mean our lives. Then when we as indigenous, migrant, immigrant, hybrid, women, queer, black, brown, historically under and misrepresented folks, when we make a mark, an image, a song, a dance, a poem, It is as though our lives and the lives of others depend upon it, and in that also joy. It is an honor to teach and to learn in your presence. And with some of you, as you learn, you teach that to create dangerously means asking, how can I be more humble, more vulnerable? How can I make sense of my privilege, my whiteness, my masculinity? That when you make an image, sing a verse, write a poem, our lives and yours depend on it. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. You are all stunning. Your process and your projects are theoretically, intellectually, artistically, politically, emotionally, socially astute and engaged, remarkable. Thank you for the journey, the honor, and the joy of it all.